Introduce everybody to Ray Ainsworth. She's from Madison, Mississippi. What's the name of the elementary school?
Madison Avenue Upper Elementary.
She's visiting today. I'm proud that she's here. She's going to get to see the girls today, and right before they watch film, might even get to watch film with them. Welcome. Glad you're here. All right. No rest for the weary. We got another one coming up. Really good Alabama team. Been playing really well. I've seen a lot of their games, and Christy's doing a great job with them. They're having a tremendous year, 14-4. Have been playing well in the league, we've always had some knockdown dragouts with them, and over there it's always been tough, and I'm not expecting anything different over there Thursday night. We're going to have to go over there and execute, play well on the road. We had a good day yesterday, watched a lot of film, and I expect us to have a good day today in preparation for our game tomorrow night in Tuscaloosa. Hopefully we'll have a lot of fans that'll travel over. I know last year we had a lot of folks that went over for the game. It was really a special atmosphere for both teams.
How well do you know Coach Kirk?
Pretty well. Known her a long time. Known her husband a long time. So we go pretty far back.
How would you describe her as a coach?
Our preparation's always been phenomenal. She's been very successful throughout her career, everywhere she's been. And I think the big thing, I think she always gets the most out of her players. They're always well prepared, and they play really hard. And she's doing it at Alabama, what she's done at Purdue, what she did in Lubbock at Texas Tech. She's built that thing now. They've got good players now, and they continue to get good players. They just got a transfer from Florida State, who's a really good player. So they're doing it.
Before the season, the players talked a lot about how you help keep them grounded. Now that you're here, 19-0 with the best start in school history, what are the difficulties? Just kind of trying to keep everyone's head level.
Just the SEC schedule. That's the difficulty. I think with our kids, we're just trying to get ready for the next game. Whoever that is, it's Alabama on Thursday. That's our focus. Just like Monday night was Ole Miss, but we didn't look ahead past Thursday night when we played Florida. And so our focus is one game at a time, one game at a time, trying to stay humble and stay hungry.
Is it any different with scheduling this week, with the game being on Monday and losing kind of a day, from the norm?
It's different in that we didn't have Monday off, but we'll have Friday off. And so we'll still have our typical 2-day prep for South Carolina. And that being said, that's really the only thing different about the week. Again, y'all, I've complained about it since I've been in the league, but it's just the way it is. I hate it that we don't have a true day off, a Saturday or a Sunday, because our kids really in the months of January and February it's just a hard, long grind. Monday's not a true day off. You got physics tests and class and labs and everything else. So it's tough on kids. I mean, you really have to manage them.
You talk about them going to class and hearing from everyone else about best start in school history, how great you are. Just what do you have to do to kind of help them tune all that out?
Well, I think if you're ever at our practice or in our film session, you'll see it real quick. We keep them pretty grounded, and we're a long way from a finished product. We're not close to even close to being peaking, which I don't want to peak right now. So there's plenty to work on, plenty to get better at. The other night we didn't finish the game right, missed 5 layups. There's a lot of things the other night that could have done a lot better. And so, it's pretty easy to keep them grounded. And I think I give our kids credit. I give their parents credit for most of those kids are they're solid that way, and they see the big picture, and they're pretty grounded.
Obviously you've been here 4 years now, and with this being the best start, what would you say was the hardest thing to getting to this point?
think the experience piece, you know, we're 4 juniors, 4 seniors, top ball club now. The size piece, having the size that we have. But I just think the continuity in your program, and the fact that we are a veteran team, and you know, that doesn't happen all the time. But you know, we'll be a veteran team next year too. You know, with some really good youth plugged in, and so I think that the other piece is the skill set that we have up and down our lineup. We now have depth at 2 spots, all the way up and down at 5 spots. We're too deep up and down the lineup, and that's probably where we haven't been in the past, but we are now.
There's usually a slippage or a difference between non-conference and conference when it comes to statistics, and I know you like to circle and square things. Gene's not here to comment on that, but what's your reaction to the difference, what you guys were able to shoot and how you were able to defend non-conference versus what the shooting percentage and the field goal shooting percentage defense is through 5 games in the league?
Well, you're playing better people right now, and you know, field goal percentage defense always seems to suffer when you go against the players that we have to go against in our league, and our shooting percentage is probably not as good in the league right now as it was early. Part of that, though, I think there's probably a couple things, but part of it too is just the way people guard us, defend us. They know us better. You know, I thought early in the season we were really good early in a lot of areas. A lot better early than we have been in the past against quality people. The other piece of that too is there's an uncomfortability that keeps an edge when you're on the road all the time. Sometimes you can get comfortable when you're playing at home, and so I think for us that's probably a big equation. Adam got a lot of variables in it, but you know, I think the biggest piece is players are better, coaches are better, everything suffers when you go in this league.
You talked after the Ole Miss game about wanting maybe your post players to do a better job on ball reversal to make themselves available for that pass. Looking at the stats and seeing how well Tiara and Chinway are both shooting, how much does that magnify it given the drop in the field goal shooting percentage, and that's even more important for them to be increasingly active to get you guys better shots?
No doubt about it. I mean, you've heard me say it 100 times, you live and die by the jumper, and you got to have an inside game, and those kids have got to shoot 60% down there, and so I think, you know, part of our struggle Monday night is we didn't have much of an inside game, but part of that too is our lack of reading the defense and seeing who was open, because there was plenty of people open. We just we didn't make good decisions sometimes offensively or make the extra pass for whatever reason the other night, and so we've got to do a better job with that. And we worked on it yesterday a lot in practice. So again, it's just we've been without Roe. Now you're trying to get her back into the chemistry piece. So now that adds another guard into the mix. So now your chemistry might be off a little bit, but you know, in the long run, Roe's somebody we're going to need, and so you know, you're trying to get her back in the flow a little bit, and she looked a lot better yesterday in practice than she's looked in a while. She'd been through, up until that time, 1 full practice, and the day before we played Mississippi. So she looked really good yesterday. I think she continues to rebound off that ankle injury, and again, that's something we're going to need.
And even though you're going to be facing more size against most league teams, you feel that the post players are able to be as active as they may have been early in the season, and to help you with that activity on the ball reversible to create those openings?
I think so, and I think they have to learn too to realize when they're double teamed, and then to become assist players. Again, those are things that we continue to work on. You know, there's no point in trying to go through a double. Let's read the double, and let's find where the double came from, and then let's attack from there. And so those are things we continue to try to improve upon and get better at.
And that, to the point that you made before, that's why you're still a long ways away from being a finished
Oh
product.
yeah, I mean You know, we've shown glimpses, as you know, chemistry-wise, offensively, of being really good at times. But then I also, the grounded piece, I see those glimpses of where we still are a long way from getting it, you know. I'm amazed at some teams. Connecticut, you know, I watch them, and their chemistry piece offensively is just amazing. And those kids, you know, some of them haven't played as much as some of the others, and yet they've been able to figure it out pretty quick, in my opinion, you know. And it's what makes them so darn hard to guard. That and the skill set, you know, multiple positions can hurt you shooting a three or off the bounce. That's what makes them Connecticut.
You know, obviously playing them in the tournament last year, how much has that pushed y'all this season? Why playing against them last year and then seeing them now?
Well, Lord knows we never can forget about it, because every time I read an article in the paper, the score's in there and that we played them in the Sweet 16. So whether we want to try to forget it or not, Lord knows we can't. So, you know, it's certainly something that I think is in the back of your mind. But I think right now we're on to just trying to navigate the SEC schedule right now, and you know, just trying to get better, trying to live it, trying to, you know, it's amazing how expectations have changed so fast around here, and hey, that you'd rather have that than the alternative. I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying it's just amazing how fast that's changed. And again, I give our kids all the credit, but you know what? That's always been my staff's expectation since day one. We knew we could do it. We knew it could be done. We had a plan. There was a blueprint, and then, you know, once you get the right kids, those kids come in here, and once they're all in, I mean, the sky's the limit. And I think our kids have been tremendous this year, but I thought our kids were tremendous last year and the year before. So that's, as coaches, all you're trying to do is get the most out of every individual, and you don't want to let them settle. That's the thing in today's world. There's so much settling. We don't want our kids to settle. I don't want my kids to settle. I'm talking about Logan and Blair, and I don't want my kids to settle. I'm talking about my basketball team. I want them to be the very best they can be. And I think that's the challenge as coaches. We try to push them and teach them and show them new heights that even they didn't realize that they could attain. And it's no different as a parent. We prod and teach and mentor our kids to help them reach heights that they didn't think they could reach. And so for me, hey, I got 15 kids, 14 daughters and a son, and I'm trying to push them every day to new heights. And you can't go to new heights if you don't have expectations. And so I think that's the world that I try to create for us to live in here at Mississippi State and start.
I know you had a comment about Jordan Danbury yesterday, or yesterday in the press release, but just adding a player like that, what kind of a dimension or bolstering of what you currently have can that bring? Well,
I think she's someone that brings a skill set to a program that utilizes that skill set, and I love her. She and I have really had a great communication from day one. We've been upfront and honest about the whole deal from day one. I think she understands the expectation coming in here, and we have a plan. And you know, what she's brought to practice as far as that really lightning quick, athletic, explosive guard, she's going to make us better, you know, every day. And so I'm excited about her. Comes from a great high school program, won state championship. You know, it's just real exciting for me. I recruited her hard out of high school and just didn't get her. But again, it's always, you never get mad about it. You know, you always go, hey, good luck, wish you the best, and you never know what's going to happen. And just was really excited to have the opportunity again, and it worked out.
And she has a year and a half of eligibility?
Well, she has 2 years, so whether you get her eligible at midterm and she ends up playing what would be 2/3 of the season and then a full season, or you maybe even sat out that part, and then you'd have 2 full years after that. So, you know, we'll play it by ear, kind of see how it goes, but we're excited that she's here. And I look forward to seeing her every day because she brings a lot to the table for us. She really makes us better.
All right, thanks, Coach.